Hey everybody, check it out. Got a new backyard toy. I found out about this from one of our YouTube friends. He had gotten one and was showing it off and gave some direction on how I could get one. So our friends here, Poor Guy Outdoor Cooking, mentioned they had a special going on some of their Firepit units in Bali. So I went and did some checking into it. They have quite a selection of different type of fire pits and fireplaces. Now I bought the one that's a little bit larger than what our friend bought or received. Here's the ticket on mine, discount, free shipping. I figured, hey, why not? Doesn't cost any more than buying one from up the street here at Lowe's or Home Depot. So we got the unboxing going here. Here are some of the lower stabilizing braces. Plenty of fasteners here. Everything seems to be clearly marked. Everything is packaged pretty well. I'm not finding any damage. Everything looks nice. The paint looks good on it. Nothing bent, destroyed. What I did notice is some of the key fasteners that are going to be used here, they are actually using riv nuts, which I certainly do appreciate. It's a good strong bond. Now here are the upper shelving pieces that go around the perimeter of the fire bowl itself. Here's a little handle. These are the tubes for the upper and lower cooking grates for this unit. Now these two are separate for a reason, because those two posts have to fit through there. Plenty of packaging. There's definitely no problem there. And there is the upper rack. Has a little utility hook on there. And here's the main fire bowl. Check it out. Looks pretty cool. I like the design. Notice how all the holes are already drilled. She's ready to go, start getting assembled. Now the one that I got here, it comes with this charcoal adapter. You can burn your wood sticks and splits and whatnot in there, but if you want to do charcoal cooking, they provide this charcoal pan to go with it. So I looked over the manual. Directions are really clear. They call out each individual type of fastener, where you're going to use it. Pretty cut and dry. So I'm going to follow their direction, and I'm expecting this to be pretty easy. I mean, there's really not that much to it. So these legs actually do have the rib nuts in them, and the fasteners they provide, you will need a PH2 Phillips driver, screwdriver, whatever you have. They fit very well. As long as your bits are in good shape, it's a very good, snug fit. I had no problem with anything trying to round out. So I'll slap these legs on here real quick. I did speed up the video just a little bit here, just so this doesn't take way too long, because, yeah, I was kind of horsing around and farting about while I was doing this today. Luckily, I have all the tools that I need. Now, keep in mind, guys, you will need, again, like I said, your PH2 Phillips type driver, and you will also need an 8mm wrench and a 10mm wrench for a couple of certain fasteners. It's not a big deal for the most part. I found this was very simple to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting those legs on finger tight. The next step requires these bracing tubes, brackets, to go around the outside lower. They will connect into each other and fasten to each leg individually, as well as have connecting fasteners where each tube inserts into the other. Now, those do not have riv nuts. They basically just punched a hole and you run the screws in and snug them down. Be careful, don't strip them out. I'll show you here in just a moment after I start getting these set up here. And again, I'll start everything by hand. I was really impressed finding those riv nuts there. It makes putting these screws in so flawless and easy. And moving on. So the lower rail's installed. Everything seems to be good. It seems to be sitting pretty flat and level on my worktop here. I'm going to fasten the main legs down first. Now, you guys, pay close attention. There's 4 legs, 3 fasteners each. Make sure you hit all 12 fasteners. Make sure they're good and snug. I have the clutch adjusted on my driver here so that they're good and snug, but nothing's going to strip out. And I'm happy with that, so we'll get the lower sections here snugged down nice. Now that screw right there that I'm pointing out, that's the one that does there are no riv nuts there. You got to get that thing straight and run it down. Be careful, don't strip it out. I had good luck with mine, so be careful with yours. All right, we flip her over, move on to the next step, check fasteners, see what we got. Let's check and see who fits what. And what I discovered is these particular fasteners, they are a metric type hex fastener. So I've got my miniature gear wrench and I've got a driver bit on an extension just to kind of help me get these started first. Made sure I have all my panels in the correct positions. You can see there. Doing a quick check here. I'm very curious. I should have tried before, so I got out my trusty magnet just because I wasn't 100% sure whether or not these fasteners were made of ferrous metal. And yeah, turns out they are. I'm happy with that. What I'll do is I'll use my short gear wrench and snug them down here once I feel like they're in a good spot. Check the book, make sure the fasteners are in. And break these chains loose here. They got zip ties on those. Those are the pins for your two cook grates on opposite sides. That's how you can adjust your height. So I'm looking over fasteners. I figure, okay, I'm good to go. Just noticing that things seem a little bit flimsy here, so, well, I'll snug these up and see how it seems. What I missed in the book is the fact that there's actually supposed to be more fasteners on these upper pieces. Each one is supposed to actually be tied together, and you notice me fussing about there. Well, here's the fasteners I didn't put in yet. That'll fix that problem. This really did make a big difference. It lined everything up, got everything straightened. Got to tell you, I'm really impressed how this is coming out. I didn't expect this kind of quality for that price. And getting them wrapped up. Trying to move this along. I sped this up so it doesn't take forever. They lined up pretty well for the most part. A couple of them were a little fussy, but not bad at all. It was actually pretty well designed and engineered. Things came together the way they should have. So here is the stand. They recommend that you use this whenever you want to use charcoal cooking. It'll keep your charcoal up a little bit higher, a little bit easier to manage your heat source when you're cooking, which is something I'm hoping to be able to do. So really all that's left is to get the upper and lower cooking grates in position. These come together pretty quick and easy. Each shelf has its own tube, pretty much a screw and a metric nut fastener to put them together. Simple stuff. Yeah, this is the one I had to run and grab my 10mm for some reason. It's a little bit different size for this. Not sure why, but whatever. So wrapping it up, the thing looks great. I'm really happy with it. They don't sell something quite like this around town here. Some of the offerings they have are just kind of boring, average. But yeah, there we go. Looking pretty good. Definitely happy with it. Finish up these last fasteners real quick here, and we're going to call her done. Can't wait to get her out there and fire it up. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I would definitely recommend it to anybody out there who wants to cook in the backyard. Thanks for watching, everybody. The next time you see this, she'll be in the backyard.